Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Warren Kibbles channel. It has been a little bit, and I haven't made an actual good video for a little while. So, anyway, I decided to hop back in the Minecraft world and pose another one of my philosophical questions. Is being pretentious good? Being prideful, being almost cocky. Not exactly the word that I'd like to use for it, but in a sense that's kind of what I mean. Last year, I'm very physically active in cross country and running is a very mentally challenging sport because I mean anyone, almost anybody, any able-bodied person can run, but it's not exactly super enjoyable, so you kind of have to force yourself to do it, and it takes a bit of effort to do that. And last year, I often sometimes felt that I was above other people. Like, I felt that my way of life was better, and that since I could make myself do those sorts of things and be more disciplined, then I worked harder than other people, and I could do harder things than them easier than they could. And that was mainly about my health. I mean, I had a strict diet for running. I had to discipline myself to run, and but it transferred to the rest of my life. And since I believe these things, of me having higher discipline and me being able to do hard things, they were true in a sense. I found it much easier while I was believing these things to do harder things. I found it a lot easier to do stuff that I wouldn't necessarily want to do. It was easier for me to do things. I could make myself do hard things. However, more recently, this year, I have realized that I shouldn't believe myself to be above others and push like moral high ground on others. I believe that I still live well, but I stopped being so pretentious. I started to acknowledge that other people have hardships too. I mean, I always knew that other people had hardships and they had their own problems and they go through hard things as well, but I didn't feel like they went through as physically challenging things and as mentally and as disciplinary things. They had less discipline than me, and I feel like there still were a lot of people who truly were less disciplined than me. There are lots of people in my life that are less disciplined than me. However, I shouldn't believe that I'm better than them just because of that, and it's good to realize that. It makes me more open, allows me to connect with more people, see more similarity to them, and such. However, as an indirect result, my discipline has gotten much worse. I find it much harder to do the little things right, and I find it much more difficult to get to sleep on time and do my schoolwork, even things I need to do just to take care of myself. And so, again, I pose this question. Are we looking at selfishness and pride wrong? We are all selfish from the moment we're born out of instinct. I mean, there have been lots of studies about it. Babies, when they're born, they have to cry. They can only care about getting what they want and what they need to live, because otherwise they wouldn't live. It's an instinctual thing. And maybe we are supposed to be. Maybe we're supposed to be selfish. Maybe we're supposed to be prideful. And separating ourselves from people who don't do as hard of things as we want does sometimes make it easier to do those harder things that we want. The people, and I've talked about it before, the people that you hang out with have a greater effect on you and your mentality than you could ever know. Life changes and adapts to how you look at it. And if the people around you look at life as this hard, terrible thing that will, and that and everything sucks, and it's hard to do things, and that hard things should just be avoided, that's bad. And slowly, those beliefs will start to rub off on you. And if they believe that doing harder things doesn't make you better or stronger, then you won't do them. I believe that self-confidence is good. Some of it. A little bit of pretentiousness is good, I believe. I think that said feelings can help us find what we really want and actually work towards those goals. And they will help us change ourselves for the better. I mean, we have to believe that we are capable of doing things to allow ourselves to do those things. And where it gets difficult, where it gets tricky, I think, is that of care and compassion. We have to make sure that we stay in a healthy mindset, and even though we are still being prideful, that we are not feeling better than other people. We're not pushing high ground, moral high ground, and we're not stopping our love for others. We can't feel like we are morally better than other people and that they don't deserve us. Unless, of course, they give good reason. But living life differently than you is not a good reason. As long as the different way that they're living doesn't hurt anybody in or themselves. In that situation, personally, I would try to fix it or encourage somebody to change their ways. And, of course, maybe it's not my place, but I feel that it's out of care. Of course, I also make many bad decisions, and I know that I've made mistakes and I've done lots of bad things, but that's different than living on bad principles. I didn't make bad decisions because they were the things I believed them. I made them because of confusion or mistake or regret or anger, and all of those things are common feelings. Humans feel those. Humans make mistakes, and that doesn't mean we should always be forgiven, but more understood. But if somebody is making decisions that hurt themselves or others because they truly believe that they are doing the right thing, as people who care about those people, we should try and steer them onto a better path. Like a family member having an intervention for someone struggling with an addiction to something. So, belief that you are right, that you are morally good, is good as it strengthens you and your morals. If you believe that if you actually believe that your morals are better than other people's, you will be more likely to follow them, and you'll be likely to be more disciplined and make sure that you follow them. However, be careful that your values are really actually good. For if your fundamental beliefs and moral principles are harmful, then your pretentiousness on the subject and unwillingness to change will only cause more and more harm to yourself and the people that you love. So that's kind of my take on pretentiousness. I think that it's good if you have first explored and really gotten a good understanding of your own moral principles and how you want to live your life. And if you believe truly that what you're doing is right and good, then I believe that some pretentiousness is good for you, and it's good to enforce those feelings. But we just have to be very careful that it's not enforcing any bad beliefs. So anyway, that's my take on it. I'll be very open to hearing your take. Leave a comment down below. Tell me how you feel about this subject. If it can get out of hand too easily, and we should avoid pretentiousness at all, or if we should embrace it as a good thing. But if you guys have any questions or want to know my views on anything else, leave that also in the comments below. And thank you all for watching. Have a wonderful afternoon, morning, night, or day. This was Warren Kibbles. Hope to see you guys again on the next video.